Welcome to the Guest Spotlight Show, public affairs presentation of WGLR. And the views expressed here are not necessarily those of the station. With us today, the head football coach, UW-Platteville Pioneers, Mike Emendorfer. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Doug. And it's nice to have some summertime and enjoy some time with family, but also starting to think about football.
You bet you are. And the university, of course, has the celebration of George Chryst coming up here on Friday, June 13th, which is the weekend of Father's Day. And it's very appropriate that the university celebrate George Chryst because this is a kickoff for a bigger idea, isn't it?
It is. George has a strong legacy at UW-Platteville, but also in the state of Wisconsin with his family and what he was able to achieve both as a father and as a coach and as a husband. And anybody that knows the Chryst family knows the impact they made in the Platteville community. And so we want to do a celebration for George and his family. And we believe we'll have over 200 people showing up with some great highlight videos of George and some of the guest speakers being former players and former coaches. It's going to be a great event, June 13th. It's just not a football event. It's a George Chryst celebration, and I know that many people in the community that remember George.
Yeah, and behind the scenes, George did so much. He was the athletic director, the Chicago Bears. People don't realize this. This is the man who hired Bo Ryan.
He was the man that hired Bo Ryan, and one of the things I heard about George, he's a great thinker, and part of thinking was George used all his resources, and George was very creative, and not only Bo Ryan, but the Chicago Bears. This community benefited tremendously from the Chicago Bears, and George Chryst was the main force behind getting the Chicago Bears to come to Platteville. Obviously, that was a huge impact for the Platteville community,
yes,
and George deserves 99% of the credit with bringing them here, as well as Steve Zilke. Both those two worked together on that project.
Let's talk about the date. When is the celebration of George Chryst?
June 13th. We start with at 2 o'clock, look at the tour of the facilities, the locker room, the football offices, and some of the upgrades that our campus has gone through in the last 10 or 15 years for some of the alumni that haven't been back. 4 o'clock is a cocktail hour. Dinner is at 5, and then the presentation starts at 6.
Mike Emendorfer, head football coach, telling us about the celebration of George Chryst. Find out more information at letsgopioneers.com.